Demi Lovato with Sexy Dirty Love. Playing for you right here on 88.2 Sanyu FM. It is the hit selector. I am Crystal, and I'd like to welcome my guest on Celeb Select today, DJ BK.
Hey,
Hey,
what's up?
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's so good to see you.
You too.
You doing all right?
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Can't you see me? I'm
Bright
here,
yellow.
yeah,
are you
you know.
telling the world, are you trying to repel that sun out there?
God, let me tell you, that heat,
It is crazy.
it's been paid.
It's been paid.
Yeah, it's chasing for February
show up.
bonus. Yeah,
I
it's
think I
looking
agree
for February
with you.
bonus.
No, it's ridiculous.
No,
it's ridiculous.
It's too much.
So BK,
Yeah.
first question. How long have you been a DJ?
Wow. I've been a DJ since 2003.
2003.
Yeah,
So that's
so
15,
that's 15 years.
It's a long
Yeah,
time. Big
15
chunk out
years.
of your life.
Great, I feel old.
Not that you said that. Well, you put the time
Ouch.
into it. 15
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
15
15
years.
years.
But before you were before we got to know you as BK, tell us.
Before BK,
The
I was
names
just...
you were given, the ones on your birth certificate where
yeah,
you
those
were
ones
born.
still remain, secret. But Ben Kuyo, born sometime in the 80s, not in the late 80s. I'm not that young.
Okay.
But yeah, I was born in the 80s. So I'm over 30 now.
Okay.
Yeah, born in a family of 4. We adopted 3 later, so we're now 7.
Okay.
Born in Kenya, raised in East Africa, because we.
So that's like a bit in every country.
Yeah, a bit in every country, but
Why is
mostly
that?
between Kenya and Uganda.
What
Because
did
of
your
the kind
parents
of
do?
work. Yeah, because of the kind of work my parents were doing.
Okay.
My dad had a regional business, or has one. My mom was a director for one of these USAID things. So, yeah, whenever she needed to be, so ended up staying here from 2000. Yeah, from 2000. From 2000. Went back for university.
You went back to Kenya for university.
Yeah, I went back to Kenya for university.
So where were you in school though?
I was in Mengo here.
Uh-huh.
I was in Mengo. Which other school? In Uganda, I was just in Mengo, actually. In Kenya, a number of schools. Nairobi Primary, St. Mary's School, USIU, Nairobi Baptist. Man,
The list is long.
yeah, it's a long list.
It's
But
a long
yeah,
list.
I was in school. I went to school. I'm educated. That's the bottom
Were you
line.
a good
Then
boy in school?
Yeah, I'd
You were
consider
never
myself a
suspended.
good boy.
You never jumped.
No. Okay, no, I think I was suspended. Yeah, I was once.
I'm making
Once.
you remember things that you have blocked.
This is a past, like, when you see the Lord, when you see the Lord, your sins are washed away, and those things are forgotten.
We want to know those things.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. I left. Actually, the reason I left Nairobi and moved here for school is because I'd become a menace, and my parents they'd had
They were
enough. They
fed
were
up.
like, you know what? We spent half our time in Kampala, so enough is enough. We're taking you to school in Kampala. You're coming with us. So,
Okay.
Uganda it was, and started off, but the switch was quite.
Was a culture shock. Huh?
It was a culture shock. Imagine being taken from Kabira to a school like Kabira, Kisu, and being taken to Mengo.
Yeah. Well,
That was the
the adjustment.
Yeah, from lunch.
An international school to a proper Ugandan school.
Yeah, at break time we used to have donuts and samosas served to us, and hot chocolate. Sometimes you could even have coffee if you wanted. Lunch, we had a buffet. yeah, went to one of those schools.
And then you
And
switched
then
to...
switched to portion beans and lining up at the canteen to buy. I don't even know what those are donuts, man. Those things were hard.
Those little like mandazis.
Those mandazi things.
Are they rock cakes? What are they called, rock cakes?
Those half cakes, rock cakes, half cakes, and then there was the donuts. But these things were tiny and they were hard. And then you'd buy like juice in a sachet of like, oh god,
Life
super
lessons.
pie. That's what it was called, super pie. And then learning how to. I learned actually how to speak Luganda just because of that. Because imagine going to a school where even a teacher will start lecturing you and then they break off from English into
And
Luganda.
they go into
and you're
Luganda.
like, what
Okay.
are you saying? Yeah, I had to learn like how to get food for myself because I was in a hostel. So I'd go to Nakulabi market. I'd sit down. At first, I used to go with like friends. I grew up in for the first year with Pablo Semper, Martin Semper's son. So while his dad was in the US, Pablo was staying with us. So we grew up together, and he taught me quite a bit of Luganda, taught me how to ask for stuff. So I'd go to the market, and I fell in love with groundnut sauce. Like to date, I can't. I have to have groundnut sauce.
Are you serious? So, like at home every day for dinner? It's
not
there,
every day,
but
like every other day. There's groundnut
every
sauce.
other.
There has to be groundnut sauce
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay, so that was an adjustment, a huge one.
A huge adjustment.
Why were you giving your parents a headache?
Hey, now are you asking me such questions?
No, I mean, were you just
no,
rebelling? Was there
just
something happening in your life at
I was
that
just
time?
being a teenager.
And just
Okay, I don't think that's an appropriate answer, but I was just being a teenager. I mean,
so
you
you
want
were
to fit
testing your
in.
limits.
Yeah, I was testing my limits. I'm like, you know what? If my friends are allowed to drive their folks' cars on the weekend, then I should. If they're allowed to be out until midnight, so should I. I don't see why it's so wrong. And I learned the hard way why it was so wrong.
Oh, you learned your lesson. Okay.
I was taught a lesson.
Okay.
I was taught many lessons.
So were you clearly in school you were a bit of a headache at that point in time. Were you the noisy sibling? Because you said you were first 4 and then you adopted 3 more. You're not, the oldest or youngest?
Yeah, I'm the eldest from my mother.
Okay.
From my father, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Dad, I didn't say that. But yeah, I'm the eldest. I probably am the most vocal, but one of my sisters, yeah.
She gives you a run for your money.
Yeah, she gives me a run for my money.
Okay.
But yeah, I was probably the most vocal.
And were you very creative in school? Or
yeah.
You're doing in productions, you're on stage,
I was
dancing.
From primary school, I was always part of the drama club or the dance, like traditional dance and whatnot. I played the clarinet and the saxophone and the flute in high school.
Okay.
Not here, but in Nairobi. When I moved here, I just carried my instruments along with me and I kept playing. So I play music, I write music, I produce music now.
Yes, that seems like that all ties into what you're doing now.
It ties into what I do. So music has been
part of your life,
or the arts have been part of my life since I was a kid. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to ask you now for your first song, and then we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Bruno Mars, Cardi B.
Yes.
Finesse.
Man, that guy it just brought it back. Love New Jack Swing.
Okay.
I love New Jack Swing.
You love it.
So yeah.
What do you think of Bruno Mars?
He's an amazing cat. I think he found a niche for himself and found a clear way of differentiating himself from everybody else, and he perfected it. There's trying to do something that was done in the past and it falls flat on your face, but his execution is just perfect. I respect him as an artist, as a writer, as a composer. He's brilliant. Anyone who's respected by Quincy Jones, hands up.
Okay, here it is, Finesse. It's 88.2 Sanyu FM, the hit selector right now, and I'm Crystal chatting with DJ BK on Celeb Select. Now, you were telling us about how you gave your parents a headache?
I did not give them a headache.
You did?
No, I did not.
Okay.
You
were being very adventurous and boisterous.
No, I was just being a teenager. Yes, I was giving them experience as parents on how to take care of my siblings when they grew up.
Oh, yes.
So I was preparing them for my siblings.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a nice way to look at it.
Like Jesus, I went before to lay the path and create a path.
I'm sure they did not see it that way.
No, they did not.
And one of the things you insisted is you went to school.
Yes.
So you said you went back to Kenya for university.
I went back to Kenya for university, and then after
what did you do?
I did 2 degrees. I did international business and marketing, and I did IT networking.
Okay.
So yeah, I have 2 degrees, and then after that I went to University of Cape Town for certification, or is it diploma? Yeah, in digital marketing. So I'm done with school now.
Okay.
I think.
You think?
I think.
When you say I think, then I don't know.
I might be going back to school again.
He's fighting it, but it's probably gonna happen.
No, it's one of those. I don't know. I'm not a bookworm. Not like that. I don't like reading. Contrary to belief, I hate reading.
Okay.
But I love learning stuff. I just don't like the reading part.
Okay.
And the exams.
All right.
But I love learning stuff. I love teaching myself stuff. Or learning something that could potentially, take me further in life. So yeah.
Okay. So when did you start DJing?
Like I said, 2003. I was.
Were you in school then?
Yeah, I was still in school. No, actually, I was more or less done. I was on my way out of high school.
Okay.
I started DJing while I was still in Mengo, playing around with PCs and everything, playing at school events. By the time I left, I went back to Nairobi. My mom, quite funny thing, my mom introduced me to DJ Styles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mother is the one who introduced me to DJ Styles. So she used to hire Code Red to do a lot of the events. So she knew him personally. So she was like, I know DJ Styles. Here he is. Do you want to DJ? Learn from him. So yeah, I met Styles, then met his younger brother, Mad Trax. So Mad Trax and I used to DJ, and we used to practice together in Nairobi for years. Go at it scratch, he does something, then I do something. I do something like that. Then I got picked up by Black Star, which was a rival group of Code Red back then. Coincidentally, you know Marcus. Yeah. So Marcus spotted me when I was still in uni. I think in my first year or second year of uni. They spotted me. They're like, hey, dude, come. Because I used to throw these campus parties that would draw 600, 700 kids. Okay. So I'd go rent out a club and charge guys at the entrance. And yeah. And
so even back then you were making money. You're not.
Yeah,
Did you say you were struggling? Because most DJs struggle to.
No, I did not struggle in my early years. I wouldn't say struggle because, let me see, on average nights, I was making about 40,000 Kenya shillings. After splitting with my partners, 40,000 shillings is about.
So
1.5. Ish 1.4 million in today's whatever. Back then that was about 800k because the rate was about 20 shillings. Now it's 35, so it's about 1.4. But you can imagine I was doing that. Yeah, back then that was a lot of money, and I was doing that every Thursday as a campuser. Then on Friday I'd be DJing somewhere else where I'd be paid probably 10,000 shillings, which 300k. Then
so you were doing okay.
Saturday. I was doing okay. I bought my first car was a BMW 3 Series. Second car was a 5 Series. Then after that I bought a Mercedes.
Sorry, some of us DJs we hustle.
I think.
But that's because you've always done more than just DJ.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've done more than just DJing. So I've also had business on the side apart from that. So.
Where does that business, where does the business side of things? Because you seem to have a good sense for business. Where does that come from? Is it from one of your parents?
My dad. Yeah, my
from
dad.
His business.
Yeah, my dad is. Yeah, he's been big on business since I think as long as I knew. Like once I started understanding what he does, yeah, he was always business. He was a banker. He'd involve me once, like sometimes, just show me this is how you do this. But yeah, not really like take me under his wing and say, you know what, you'll be part of the family business and then you take it over and then no.
Not quite like that.
But the reason I actually did my IT degree was because of him. I did it because he ran an IT consultancy and yeah, he pushed me into that field. So I did that and then
okay.
Like, you know what?
You moved on to something else.
Moved on to something else.
At that point in time, like you said, when you were done with Compass, did you see yourself DJing as like a career?
Yeah, I actually did, and it pissed
you always
my dad
did.
off. Yeah, it pissed my dad off.
But
like,
since your mom supported you, though.
No, pissed off as well.
Oh,
yeah.
So in the beginning, I was like, "Oh,
so
have a bit of fun," but
they'd be like, "Yeah, you DJ, fine. That's for fun, but please, your degree, because that's actually what's going to make you money." Little did they know, but yeah, yeah. I've always had like that business side of me. So from producing mixtapes at home and then selling them to the matatus, just to, if I figured there's this new pair of sneakers, how much do I need? 4,000 Kenya shillings. Okay, I'd go home quickly, create a mixtape really quick. Then in the evening, burn some CDs, duplicate, put them in the bags and everything. Then go to uni after class.
Go and sell.
Go, sell, finish, money. Go buy the shoes and I'm done. So, yeah. It's
Was there time for ladies?
Oh, yeah. That's what, yeah, there was lots of time, man. How long have you known me? Seriously, how long have you known me?
I don't know.
Oh, now you're denying. So anyway, yeah, there was
plenty of time for ladies. That was a priority.
Plenty of time for ladies. Yeah, I was responsible. I was responsible, very responsible. But yeah, I had my fair share. And then I settled down.
And then
eventually.
You settled down. Of course, this is before, way back.
Yeah, this is way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you now for your second request. A Bebe Cool song, which of course I'm sure is...
Yes.
For some people, it's ironic.
Yeah. Bebe Cool.
But you guys are cool.
Yeah, we're friends. We're good friends. We've known each other for years. I mean, like, it's been, I don't know how long. So... I think what happened that is just difference of opinion, really, and guys took it
to the next level.
To the next level and everything. So you'd go to a club and they're like, "Hey, baby, has come, go and hide."
So you find that people actually enjoyed the idea of the beef between the two of you.
Yeah, but it wasn't really beef per se, because after that that long post and the altercation online, like after. What, the next week or 2 weeks later, we were sitting having drinks, like in a club somewhere.
It was all gone.
It was all gone. And we meet every once in a while. We chat, we catch up on stuff. He comes by the studio, produced lots of songs for him at Masters. So, I mean,
So let's put it out there. They're cool people.
Yeah,
okay?
we're cool.
Yeah, he's
requested
cool one of his songs.
Yeah.
Katono. And you picked this song, why?
This song just, like, you know, a song that takes you downtown, Like, this is the ultimate local song. The ultimate one. Like, you just hear it and it's one of those songs I can't even play at. Like, if I was playing at, say, Brew Bistro or Mercury, I can't play this song. Like, I'd be like, this song is so misplaced.
They won't get it.
They just won't get it, but it's for the inner ratchet.
Okay.
For the ratchet in you.
Here it is. It's a hit selector on 88.2 Sanyu FM, and I'm Chatting right now with DJ BK on the Celeb Select. So you're talking about how you knew even way back in the day that DJing would be part of you, and you would turn it into a career.
In general, music in general.
Music in general. Okay, so when you were in Nairobi, you were talking about all the different things you're doing in Nairobi. How did you come back to Uganda? How did you find yourself here?
While in Nairobi, I met. What were we doing? I think it was a Saturday. Friday, public holiday or something. Anyway, so one of those random parties. So Marcus and a friend called Michelle Smalls go like, hey, party today. What are you doing? I'm just going to go out and drink.
And drink
so
as well.
she's like, no, we have a house party. Let's go. So we follow each other. We drive to Westlands, and whose house do we land in? Shanice. So I'm like, hey, Shanice. This is the same Shanice from Uganda. Wow. So we spark, become friends, and we started a business together. She started a business, and then I joined her in the business, partnered with her in the business. And we, at some point, she's like, you know what, I'm tired of Kenya, and I'm going back home. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay here. Let me stay with the business side.
So you stayed with the business.
So yeah, but then when she moved here, the business wasn't doing well that side. And then she's like, you know what, I'd actually quit DJing at that time. I'd stopped DJing.
Why?
So between me meeting Shanice, us opening the business or running the business, and moving here, I think after, this is 2007, 2008, 9, I'm like, you know what, the business has more money, and I'm making a lot more money from here. Plus, I was a marketing director for a software firm. So I was doing quite a lot of travel between Nairobi and Kampala and Dar es Salaam. Sometimes I'd go to South Africa. So I was moving up.
So they just also went.
Yeah, there was a lot happening.
Time,
so I was like, there's no time for DJing. Let me just focus on the business and focus on this. Then after that, I left the employment and focused on the business. Then it wasn't doing well. Then Shanice is like, you know what? Why don't you just come to Uganda? I was like, to do what? So she tries to convince me. I was like, nah. So one day she tells me, we're launching a breakfast and I need a mix. I'm like, okay, fine. So I do a mix real quick. She tells me, send it. So Tim, the time there was a guy called Timothy Luanga, downloads it. Shanice listens, like, no, this is not what I want. I want the Code Red Black Star BK. That's the kind of mix I want.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, fine. So I put in some hours, I do some mixes, and I send them over. So I think they went on air on a Friday.
Yes, because it was
on a Friday.
Wheels of Steel Friday morning.
No, it wasn't at that time.
I mean, but it was that format.
Yeah, it was that format. So they go on air, and she calls me at 7 in the morning. I remember I was in bed, and she tells me, BK, you don't know what these mixes are doing. I'm like, what? It's like getting calls off the hook. Who is this guy? Blah, blah, blah. What do we do? Like, just say that some random DJ. It's like, no. Seriously. So I'm like, okay, fine. Just say it's DJ BK. It's fine. And then 2 weeks later, I get another call again from Shanice. Okay, we've been talking in between, but she now forth. Calls again. She's like, so now the station wants you. Like what? Yeah, the station wants you to come to Uganda and stuff. Like, I'm like, I can't do that. Like, this work here, this school and everything that I'm doing. Because I was doing my second degree at the time.
Okay.
So that makes me feel really old. But yeah. So tells me, no, they really want, so come, let's do this. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's talk about it further. I'll think about it. But I'll keep sending you mixes.
Yes, because in the beginning you were sending the mixes.
Yeah, I was sending them in. So I'd send them in, and yeah. Then while I was on break, I travel here. And yeah, I signed a contract. And yeah, the rest is history.
It's history.
Yeah, I became this overnight sensation. Yeah. Without a face.
We need to get to that, by the way, the whole without a face. Because, okay, for the longest time, radio is radio, yes.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to have your face out there and known. But you were so particular about making sure people did not know what you look like.
Yes.
So we have this DJ BK on Sanyo FM at the time. People were like, okay, who is he? But who is he? What does he look like?
Yeah.
And then even the events we started to do, you'd wear a mask.
Yes.
What was that about?
So
even now the pictures you put out, I've seen there was like side profile.
So because of when I moved, when they finally agreed to move here, Shanice, Nancy, there was a guy called Martin. So we all said, oh, okay, fine, let's open Blue Flamingo. So we open a digital agency here, and we start working, and trying to look for clients and everything. But the perception of DJs back then.
That's why.
Yeah, DJs are not professional people.
They're not serious.
Blah, blah. They're not serious characters, etc. And yet here we are trying to run this professional business. So we said, you know what, keep the face out of the whatever. But also, it was good being a mystery, it worked in our favor. So we just decided, you know what, no face, just go out, have Ben as a separate person and have BK as a separate person. When you go into a boardroom, you do your pitch and everything, and nobody knows who you are. There are clients like now who only figured out, like, oh my God,
only recently,
you are BK, and then suddenly things become awkward in the room. But yeah.
You think that perception is changing though?
Yes, it is, because I think over time when they start seeing that, you know what, you can actually handle yourself and
you can be professional.
You can be professional about things. Then they start taking you seriously. And yeah, I mean, look at the company now. It's largest digital agency in the country. Just been affiliated to WSI, so that's really big for the agency. And even while we've opened another agency, Millennials, so
there's a lot going on.
Grown a lot,
and that's what I'm saying, people see, okay, just know you as a DJ, but there's all this other stuff that you've had running all along.
Oh yes,
in the background.
Yes,
running a professional, daily job, and then doing all this other stuff as well. Yeah. So you talked about Blue Flamingo. You were at Sanyo FM for some time, and then really quickly, you left. If you could just fill us in on,
Okay, so I left Sanyo, went back to school. Because at some point it was now, it had become weird. Like, it was not easy to balance the two.
Okay.
So left Sanyo, went back to Nairobi, and then barely 3 days after the announcement that I've left, I get a call from Vision Group, and I'm told, no, we don't care that you're in school. We just want you on air.
Okay.
So I was like, but I'm going back to school, like I need to focus. So they're like, no, you just give us your terms. And yeah, so I gave my terms, we agreed, and yeah.
That was another chapter.
That was another whatever. So I was in school, I was out of the agency. I had left Blue Flamingo completely. So Shanice, Nancy were running the whole thing themselves and everything. So I joined Vision Group. I was DJing for about a year, and then a position in marketing popped up. Then I was picked to be, I went for the interview. I was chosen as the marketing manager for the broadcast, whatever. So that was really big. And I did that for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm tired of employment. So, and also at the time, while doing that, my brand as BK suffered a lot because I didn't have time to DJ anymore. So at some point, I was like, yeah, you know what? Just put the DJing aside and just focus on being,
On adulting.
yeah, just,
In a way.
yeah, just focus on adulting and being that corporate individual who goes for meetings and does pitches and everything. But at some point, it wasn't satisfying enough.
You missed it. You missed some music in your life, huh?
Yeah, it was hard because even there are guys who at the office would tell me, dude, where is the BK that we used to have, like that guy? And it used to itch. Yeah. There's this particular person. She's called Pauline. So even when I had just joined, like when I joined marketing, after a year she started. But where's the BK of Sanyu? Where's this BK of Sanyu? And it used to itch. And imagine for 4 years, this person saying the same thing. At some point, I was like, you know what, something has to give. So Pauline, you're the reason I left Vision Group.
Okay, we'll get back to that. But it's good to have people like that in your life.
Yeah, no, it is good. It is good.
Remind you who you are and what makes you happy sometimes.
So, yeah, I left, resigned, went back to agency life. Started my DJing afresh. Joined with my longtime friend, Rahim, RPM. Coincidentally, we used to play together in the same club in Nairobi 15 years ago.
Back in the day?
Actually, 12 years ago, not 15.
12 and now you're back together.
And the same exact thing we were doing back then is the same exact thing we're doing now.
You're doing now?
Yeah, so we used to play together and everything because we understood each other. We knew how, like, each other's weaknesses. We've known each other for years. It was almost too easy. So when he said, you know what, why don't we get back into DJing? I was like, coincidentally, I wanted to do that, but I just didn't know where to start.
Didn't know how.
It's like, let's just start. So we started, opened for Diplo, opened for Techno. Techno actually called during his concert and said, I need a DJ. There are those two guys who were playing before who opened. Could you get them on stage for me? I'd like them to DJ as I play. So I happened to be around Rahim. I think I'd gone home or something.
Rude boy, won't you come with me? Light under the sycamore tree, and after maybe you and
now the song we just played you is just like iconic. It's massive. And then we were chatting off air about Nazizi, Waire, and then you were telling me that unfortunately you were the first person at the scene when Feroz passed on.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just share what happened.
So Feroz and I were actually Feroz, Nazizi and I were in the same school in uni. We're all in USIU.
Yes.
So one night I was driving from Karen. I'd come from seeing a friend of mine. So I was on Waiyaki Way. I just passed the Museum Hill roundabout. As I'm driving up the hill, I look on the other side of the highway and I see this 5 Series BMW. I'm like, hold on. That car looks so much like Feroz's car. I'm like, you know what, let me turn and just see, just in case. So I find this car rammed in the back of a truck, and the guys inside are, they're gone. So Nazizi's mom comes up just a few minutes later, and I go up to, they had this white Honda. Yeah, it's that car has stories. If you could tell tales, if that car could tell stories, yeah, it had seen like a lot of stuff. So yeah, we find him there. The mom comes and she's broken as hell. So I pick up the phone and the first person I call is Matrax. And I call him up. I'm like, dude, Feroz and Oscar are gone, because Oscar was his best friend. So they were coming from there was a bar in Westlands.
What time was this?
This was, I think, 3-4 in the morning. Yeah, it was about 3-4 in the morning. And
you had to.
Yeah, so I call Matrax. Matrax calls Prezo. gives him my number. Prezo calls me and asks me what's going on, what's the stuff I'm hearing. So I break it down for him. I think he was out of the country at the time. He was in Germany. Nazizi was in Germany with Waire.
And you found...
Yeah, and
it was a lot.
Nazizi could not even get a flight. She couldn't get a flight back in time for the burial. So she missed the burial, if I remember right.
That was a lot on your shoulders too, though. A lot for
Yeah,
you, because you had to...
We had to go to the morgue, the body. The uncles came. We had to get their bodies cleaned up and everything.
And one of the things that, you know, a lot of people have been saying, Nazizi was here recently. She had an interview on African Express. But a lot of people saying, you know, what happened? What happened? Because... That
is what happened. For me, that I strongly believe that's what happened, because Feroz was everything to Nazizi. Feroz was everything to Nazizi. And plus also now my family.
Yes, you met your wife here.
I met wife here.
Of course, we want to know
kids.
a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I met my wife here.
That's all he's gonna say.
Yeah, and now we are married and we have 2 kids and they're at school, and you know.
How old are the little ones?
I have 2 kids. One is 6 going 7. One turns is she 3 yet? Yeah, she turns 3 next month.
Don't worry, you're not the first man I've interviewed who is always a little unsure about the age.
You ask me about birthdays and I'm like, wait, okay, so my birthday 26th, so 28th, and has 20. That's how I do calculations. Like,
okay.
Yeah. I just remember, you know what? There is a birthday in March, there's a birthday in June, there's a birthday in August, there's a birthday in October. When they happen... yes, see, now I remember my daughter's birthday, 18th. Yes, 18th October. So I remember 2 months plus 2 days. So like that. So that's how I remember. It's
so
maths.
What is it about your wife that made you fall in love with her?
I think the first thing that brought us together was music. Actually meeting a woman who understood music or knew music the way I did. Where I'd mention something and it would not be like, who is that? Or which track was that? Or someone who would mention a track by name, not by, you know, this track. Oh, na 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 na. No. Yeah, it wasn't one of.
Talked about how important music is to you, so that's a powerful
so,
bond.
Like, music is what brought us together, and then of course, you know, the bond from there grew. Yeah, you know, we became great friends, and you know, we got hooked. We stayed hooked.
And you're
still hooked. And yeah, she likes denying, but you know, she liked my page, and then you know.
Oh, that's what happened. Huh?
No, that's
you know, I
not
can
what
ask
happened.
her.
Shh.
Okay.
I want a place to stay.
All right.
Yes,
all right. No,
I still want a home to
go.
Yeah. But yeah, music brought us together, and still is what keeps us.
And like you said, you know, you quit your marketing job and you decided to go back into music. So we're almost out of time. Maybe you can just tell us
flies.
what you are doing right now to incorporate that, because you're producing as well.
Yes. So I produce music. I do a lot of advertising work. I run a digital agency called Millennials. Then help with the running of Blue Flamingo as well, with Shanice and Pam and the team.
So there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and then of course there's the family, and then now there's also the partnership with myself and Raheem on and the Deejaying. So then we have the Square as well, which is, you know, our home and our bar where we go and just lounge and party and your passion comes first. Don't do something because you've been forced to. Do it because you love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for coming.
Nice catching up on Celeb
Yes,
Select.
yes.
And
great times.
And learning a lot more about you.
I'm a big fan of dance music, house, electronic music. I'm a big fan.